Okay, so today actually this evening I'm back in the barn. After doing my revisit on the Cybergun 6-hour SP-2022 BB pistol and putting that away, I was digging through a lot of other junk in the cabinet, and I kind of ran across another old pellet slash BB gun that I had that I'd kind of forgotten about, only because, you know, again, you have this stuff and you don't really use it. But thought I'd do an impromptu video, meaning just kind of off the cuff here. I wouldn't really call it a review, but just kind of a revisit like the other one. Anyway, this is I don't know if you say Gamo, one of those has to be correct, right? All right, P-23. No, I'm not sure if this pellet pistol, BB pistol, is available anymore, but I've had it for, boy, at least 10, probably 12 years, and I got it in trade on some other kind of hobby forum, props that we used to build and trade. But anyway, guy really wanted me to take this, and I really didn't want it. But when he lowered the value down to about $20, and it came with the original box. I don't have the box here now, it's stored away, and a package of these Gamo lead balls, which are, I guess, lead BBs. I couldn't pass it up. So as I recall, thinking back to the last time I fired it, probably a decade ago, it was pretty fun to shoot. I didn't care for the lead BBs, but of course now I don't really mind as much. So anyway, what to say about it? I didn't get a manual with it, but if memory serves me, this is a rifled barrel. Let's see if I can do this while I'm holding the camera. It is a rifled barrel, which is kind of neat. You almost like a brake barrel or the single stroke pneumatics. You just kind of put a pellet in here in the top of the barrel breech, or you can load, I think it's something like 12 BBs. I can't really do that at the same time, in this little reservoir gizmo here. And it says right there, use lead BBs only. So, and I think that kind of turned me off about it in the beginning, but in a way it didn't matter. But I'm glad I hung on to it now. So it was pretty accurate back then. I enjoyed it. I think it's supposed to be modeled after like a Walther PPK, maybe like a James Bond type gun. Yeah, sorry about the sweat. Another sweltering hot, high humid day, so maybe the CO2 will do good. But yeah, caliber 177, lead BBs or pellets, and I think depending on where you saw the specifications on it, it was somewhere between 400 and 410 feet per second out of the muzzle, something like 60 to 80 shots depending on what you were doing. CO2 goes into the handle here. But anyway, I remember enjoying shooting this, and I think we'll give that a shot today. I did not have a chrono until was it last year, so this obviously hasn't been shot across a chronograph. I've never really tested it for accuracy, but I remember it was kind of nicely accurate. I believe these sights are fixed. I've never really checked because, I can't really look at it that way. I think they're fixed, but doesn't matter for most of our use. Maybe they drift sideways, but in any case, for most of our use, it's just kind of point and shoot, good practice, good fun. The hammer actually, it does not, there's no slide other than just the tipping forward. But that's how that works. So I'm going to get some things set up. Oh, and I did bring my chronograph out. And in case you're wondering what these little things are for, these are some lights that I purchased at a big box hardware store to put on top of the sky screens of the chronograph and see if that helps. I know that you can buy those light kits, but I got these for like $6, and they're something like, I don't know, 500 lumens each or some crazy number, 300. They're really bright. So So I thought I'd give that a try and see if it worked. So I'll get set up here and then we'll revisit and give it a try. Okay, so here's what I was just gonna give a try to. I'm not sure with the sun coming in that window at this point, so, but here's these lights I was telling you about, and they look kind of bright, so I have no idea if you're supposed to have the whole undercarriage of that screen with a light or just this, so I'll give it a try. If it doesn't work, if it's something to try. Normally during the day I just kind of shoot out the door into a safe backstop where I can get some real light, natural light. But anyway, back to the gun in question. All right, now take the grip off. Usually helps to have a little bit of better fingernails. I think the grips come off both sides, maybe not. Well, I'm not going to take off the other side, but anyway, that's the side you do it. You unscrew the tab just like any particular CO2 that would be in the handle. See if I can get a better angle. I suppose you could go ahead and load the BBs first. Suppose I should put that on safe. Or the pellet, whichever, but I'm just going to go ahead and do the CO2 first. And, oops, I forgot my pellet gun oil, but, oh, here we go. I'll be opening up a can of worms here, I'm sure. Now that I have this on film, I can't escape it, but normally I use pellet gun oil or some other secret sauce, Mac 1 secret sauce. But in a pinch, I'll tend to use a higher grade air tool oil, synthetic oil, hydraulic, jack oil. In this case, what I'm going to use is, or a paintball. I have a really nice gold, it's called Gold Cup paintball oil. Had a bunch of little jars, but this here is a little leftover jar I filled with some 0W40 full synthetic royal purple. Again, this isn't exactly, $800 pellet pistol, so I'm not going to be too concerned if I just put a little drop on there. So like I said, I don't want to start any big oil fight or anything, but in a pinch, through the decades, whether it's been for paintball or air pistols, especially CO2, maybe even occasionally the pump gun, I've used air tool oil, hydraulic oil, or synthetic motor oil, lighter weight. And I've not, ever had a problem, so I am not telling anyone to do it. I'm not recommending it. Just saying that in a pinch, I guess I'd rather have, just a dot of this than nothing. So y'all can reach your own conclusions, but I've done it. I'm okay with it. But again, I don't recommend it. You do what you got to do. But just to get me through a quick test, it shouldn't hurt anything. So, and again, if this gun, I threw it away tomorrow, I wouldn't really care. Of course, I'm kind of taking a liking to it. So just like anything else, you just screw this up. Heard a little, and I don't know, it'll work, and then life is good. Not that that's just how I do it. And my grip just slides up in there, closes, and got it unsafe. Now we're ready to load whatever we choose to load. So I think I will start with the lead balls that are recommended by Gamo. And because I don't want to waste too much CO2, I'm just going to try to get a test and see, really quickly, just a couple, 2, 3 of each, what their readings are. I'm not doing a full-blown chronograph test or anything. So put in 1, 2, maybe longer. Okay. So there, it's loaded with BBs, and I believe that this is a repeater. So you just pull the trigger until they're empty. So I think we'll go up and there we go, 359. So 382. But it is working the higher I go. I was going down too low and too close. 368. Okay, so I'll just figure out the difference there. So now, what I'll try, Winchester maximum velocity pellets. These are lead-free, 4.32 grain. So these are, I think, the latest 177 caliber pellets I own. So we'll see what they show. Whoa, 409, there you go. That's some speedy little guys, huh? So if in fact the specification was 400 feet per second with maximum, then these are surpassing it, but if it's 410, then it's pretty much right on. 438, okay, well, I'm really consistent, or it's really consistent. 392. I'm going to try one more. 403. Okay, well that's fairly speedy. Not too bad. Obviously, these are the kind of pellets everybody gets ticked off about, because a lot of manufacturers, when they put those gigantic, those really high feet per second claims on their rifles and pistols, a lot of times they're talking about pellets like that. So, but for a little gun like this, I don't think it matters. Now what I'm going to use are the 7 grain RWS Hobby. And again, I'm not going to shoot too many, because let's see what this one does. Oh. Okay. That was interesting. Didn't do it. 295. So I see the RWS Hobbies, the skirt is really difficult to seat in. I have to use the back of my nail to push it in really hard. Okay, I see. Got it. Might be why the velocity's suffering. 277. So, now she's dropping pretty good with these. So again, when they make a gun like this, I'm not quite sure what pellets they're actually testing them at. So we'll have to see. 281. Okay, so we're in the 270, 280 range with the 7 grain. With the BBs, it looked like we were in the 360 or 370, and with the lead-free pellets, boy, it was sailing there, boy. With the lead balls here, I don't know what the diameter is compared to regular steel BBs, but I was suspecting or assuming, which I probably shouldn't do, that the reason they're calling for lead is because the barrel is rifled for pellets. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know, but at least it makes some sense. So, but set up some kind of a target and we'll go from there. Okay, I have loaded the Gamo P-23. I have confirmed that there is 12, it does hold 12 of the lead BBs, and unsafe. So I'll show you where we're going to go here. So I have the same target that I used for my video on the Cyber Gun Sig Sauer SP2022. This just happens to be a target that I had left over from qualifying with a handgun, and so it's just a convenient thing to have. I'm not advocating shooting at human silhouettes. It's just I've got it. This is somewhat of a, well, it's actually a replica of I believe a PPK, so it's good practice if you are working on any kind of, you know, defense shooting. But so let me try to get things set up. Oh, and by the way, I'll just be standing back about, I'm gonna start at 15, and so I'm not exactly expecting to be a crack shot here. We'll see what happens. Of course, I recall it being pretty accurate, so. All right, so here we go. It's the Gamo P-23. Wow. Not too bad. That was two-handed, you know, typical combat hold like that, but I went relatively quickly. I did not edit, well, I'm not going to edit any of the shot speed. So as you can see, I started out kind of slow and then just sped up. But that's not too bad at all. So I think what I'll do is I'll try benching this back at about 30 feet and see what happens just for the heck of it. So I'm gonna turn this off and reload, and that did pretty good even quickly. I was a little surprised. That did nice. So okay, now I've tried to fix the target the best I can. I imagine if I hit these, a lot of times they go flying off. They don't stick real well, but again, this is just all for fun, so no big deal. Right now I'm back pretty much 29, 30 feet, 10 yards. And to bench it, I'm just on my elbows. I probably should just get my sandbags out, but I'm just gonna rest on my elbows, so no big deal. We'll see what happens. Okay. Well, the lighting in here at stinks. I can barely see this from sight. I cannot see this from sight. I pulled that. Actually, the trigger is pretty light. Wow. Oh my goodness, what in the devil happened there? Okay, flyer 1, 2, 3, 4. So out of 12, I don't know what happened there, to be honest with you. I don't know if I just shot too fast. Wait, now one of these I know I totally messed up on. I mean, I was squeezing while I was trying to sight in. I'm just wondering if I started shooting these too fast. I don't know. But you know, all in all, it's a fun little gun. That's something I wanted to mention too. Surprisingly, for the trigger, I forgot to tell you, it's a double action only. So as you squeeze the trigger, the hammer goes back and then must hit the valve to release the CO2. But it's actually not a bad trigger. But you know, I'll tell you, it surprised me that once I start squeezing it, until you start rapid firing, you don't really know when it's going to break. It just kind of just goes. So, you know, surprisingly for such a little CO2 gun, you know, just a kind of maybe it was an expensive gun. I guess I don't even know what these cost retail, but that trigger, it's kind of, oh, that's a nice little trigger actually for that gun. A lot of firearms people would be happy to have a trigger like that. So, yeah, the accuracy at the end, I'm totally blaming on me going too fast. Power, obviously, I don't know. You don't have much of a barrel on here, so if anything's going over 400 feet a second, I guess you got to be happy with that. But I should actually, maybe I should just real quick throw another, throw one of these in there, put it on safe. I'll tell you one thing, these lead-free pellets really, they load nice. They go right to the inside of that chamber, they load flush. The hobbies must have a wider skirt because I really had to slam those in with my nail and I had trouble with them. So I'm not quite sure. But let me try, right now we are at 30 feet, so I could try to, what should I try to hit? Okay, I know what I'm going to try to hit. I'll just try to hit right below the bullseye on the black. Oops, sorry folks. Let's try it. And then I'll drag you down there. Right below the bullseye. Again, all I see is a black bar, but I'll give it a try. I have no idea where that went. Wow, that sure zipped out of there though. I wonder if that went high because of the speed. Maybe I need to shoot quite a bit lower. I wonder. Let me try that again. Okay, I'm gonna try for the same thing. I want the impact to be below the orange bullseye, but I went just below it. I'm gonna go quite a bit below it and see if what it's doing is raising up. Yep, that's what it was. Okay, it's a little bit to the left, but okay. Wow, these things are still cracking. Well, the shot count is nice in this little gun. I mean, I've been hammering away for a while, and it's still. I think the lead BBs are pretty heavy at 8. Think about that, 8 grains. That's a pretty heavy, especially for a little thing like this. Let me try one more time and see where I come up with. So these are the Winchester. I'm holding the trigger like half. The Winchester 177 lead-free 4.32. We'll see what we can do here. Oh, I felt that one kick down a little bit. But anyway, let's go put this on safe. So I assumed the very first one I did of the lead-free, I was aiming for here and I probably hit up in here. Then this one, I was aiming about here and it went there. This one I was aiming about here. So I do believe the power is starting to die off now, but still, that's still not too bad. It's whatever I'm doing, it's just playing around. But so, all right, now I'm done farting around. So hey, thanks for watching the video and hope you enjoyed a little bit on the revisiting of the Gamo P-23. And yeah, thanks for watching.